Friends, buckle up. We're diving into the latest economic roller coaster courtesy of President Trump, a tariff tsunami, if you will. The headline, a new blanket tariff of 10% on goods from every single country. Yes, you heard that right, everyone. It's like a participation trophy, except instead of cheap plastic, it's made of economic uncertainty. But wait, there's more. 60 countries, dubbed the worst offenders, face even higher tariffs. These nations, yet to be officially named, are likely sweating more than a camel in a sauna. This move, my friends, is not subtle. It's the economic equivalent of shotgun diplomacy, except we're firing at our own feet. The stated goal? To reset global trade, according to Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Now, I'm no economist, but I've seen enough episodes of Shark Tank to know that reset is often a euphemism for things are about to get messy. And messy it is. The markets are already throwing a tantrum, but more on that later. For now, just know this. Trump's tariffs are like that friend who shows up uninvited, drinks all your beer, and then starts a fight. Everyone's uncomfortable, and it's unclear how long they'll stay. One might assume, and perhaps even hope, that a policy as impactful as a global tariff would come with a clear, unified message from the administration. One would, as is often the case in these United States, be sorely mistaken. Instead, we're treated to a chorus of conflicting statements, making the whole situation as clear as a mud pie fight. Commerce Secretary Lutnick assures us these tariffs are here for days and weeks. Trade advisor Peter Navarro, on the other hand, insists they're non-negotiable. It's like watching a two-man comedy act where neither comedian got the memo about what the joke is. Adding to the cacophony, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins hints at potential support for farmers, who are understandably nervous about being caught in the crossfire. Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent avoids specifics, like a vampire avoids garlic. And then there's Elon Musk, presidential advisor and occasional tweeter of questionable ideas, who chimes in with hopes for a zero-tariff situation with Europe. The takeaway? Nobody seems to know what the hell is going on. Least of all the people in charge. It's enough to make you long for the good old days of predictable governance. Remember those? Me neither. If there's one thing the market hates more than a bad pun, and trust me, it hates them, it's uncertainty. And folks, we are swimming in a veritable ocean of the unknown right now. The Dow Jones is down over 10%, the Nasdaq over 20%. It's the biggest two-day drop since those halcyon days of March 2020, when the world decided to collectively lose its mind. Naturally, administration officials are downplaying the whole markets in freefall thing. Navarro, in a move that can only be described as audacious, urges investors to sit tight and predicts a market boom. Bessent, meanwhile, assures everyone that a recession is just a silly rumor, like Bigfoot or a competent politician. Rollins, in a truly masterful display of understatement, calls the market drop an adjustment. An adjustment, folks, like we just swapped our sensible minivan for a slightly used sports car with questionable brakes. No biggie. The truth is, nobody knows what the long-term economic impact of these tariffs will be. But if the markets are any indication, we're in for a bumpy ride. Unsurprisingly, the rest of the world isn't exactly thrilled about Trump's latest foray into economic brinksmanship. Over 50 countries have reportedly been blowing up the White House phone lines, presumably to express their displeasure in a more diplomatic way than, say, launching 1,000 angry tweets. Among those seeking to smooth talk their way out of this tariff turmoil are Israel, Vietnam, and India. Netanyahu is even scheduled to meet with Trump, presumably to engage in some high-stakes diplomacy and maybe share some tips on how to weather a scandal. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the political and public response to Trump's tariff tantrum has been, shall we say, mixed. While some applaud his bold stance on trade, because apparently those people exist, others are less than impressed, particularly as the president has spent the last 4 days golfing in Florida while the markets crash and burn. The optics, as they say, are not good. Senator Adam Schiff even went so far as to suggest that the image of Trump teeing off while the economy tanks could become an enduring image of the Trump presidency. And honestly, he might be right, because when it comes to Donald Trump, even a global economic crisis can't compete with a good round of golf. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more updates.